Hello kababayan and hello YouTubers. As you guys all know that the Philippine government has updated their protocols. They are now accepting antigen tests and PCR tests to enter their country. If you're taking the Philippine Airlines and it's a straight shot flight from LAX, for example, to Philippines, a straight shot, no layovers, antigen will be sufficient. What we're having problems with is what happens when you take different airlines. That's the problem right now. A lot of people right now are lacking information and they're not well informed. Even though that it was announced by the government in the Philippines that they're accepting antigen, they fell short of explaining to the other passengers or travelers going to the Philippines, what if you take the different airlines? Will it still be the same rule? So the answer would be no. So a lot of people right now has a lot of questions. So let me just reiterate this. If you want to take the antigen test and you really want to take the antigen test, take Philippine Airline, straight shot flight, no layovers, and you'll be fine. That's the only way you're going to do this right. If you take any other airlines, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because those airlines, they're not designed to follow the Philippine protocol because they're just transport. They will follow what layover that they have to go to. For example, Turkish airline. If you get on their plane and they land a layover at Turkey, and then from Turkey to go to the Philippines, the rules in Turkey, you can enter Turkey without any COVID test. No COVID test required. That's not a mystery. Turkey government says, you want to come to Turkey? You want to lay over here? I don't need your COVID test. But that's Turkey. What if you take Alaskan airline and then you land over Tokyo? Well, that's a whole different ball game. You go to Tokyo, you better have a PCR test. And when you get there, they're going to test you again. And then different layovers in different countries. Either they require a 72-hour PCR test or a 48-hour PCR test. So it depends where you lay over at. Okay, so that's the problem we're having right now. There's too many variables. So, and if you're not informed, you're going to be just like the family or families and passengers who got their antigen tests and then they try to board Qatar Airlines. Qatar Airlines, their layover is in Qatar. The Qatar government says for anybody to land over here and enter Qatar land or Qatar country, you better have a PCR test or else we won't accept you. That's why there is no mystery why the family and passengers trying to board Qatar airline, they were turned away because they have antigen tests. Even though the day before, the Philippine government says we accept antigen. The Philippine government accepts antigen to enter the Philippines. But see, you're entering Qatar, a different country. Qatar says PCR test. Philippines says antigen test. Well, if you're boarding their flight, Qatar, and it's going to go to Qatar first as a layover, guess what rule the airline's going to follow? Not the Philippines. They're going to follow Qatar. That's why there was a news or somewhere in the blog or somewhere in the internet that bunch of families try to go home using Qatar Airlines, and they had antigen as their test, and they were turned away. They didn't get to fly home. It's not the Qatar Airlines fault. They're just following the rules of the layover because they're laying over in Qatar. And Qatar says nobody enters this country unless you have a PCR test done and negative result, of course. Even though the Philippines says, well, you can enter here with antigen, but you see, you're not entering Philippines. You're entering Qatar first. So that's what's going on. So I don't want people thinking, oh, Qatar is too strict, or Qatar is misinformed, or Qatar airline is not updated yet. No, they are updated. But see, Qatar Airlines is not going to the Philippines. Qatar Airlines is going to Qatar. So they have to follow Qatar land. And Qatar land says no one will enter this country unless you have a negative PCR test. They don't care about your antigen. So let me cite another example. People from British or Britain, they get on the plane, a Turkish airline, and then they lay over Turkey. And then from Turkey, they go to Philippines. And then they spread the news that they didn't even got asked about their COVID-19. You see, they're ignorant. I'm gonna tell you this: they're ignorant. It's because Turkey does not care if you enter their country with a COVID test or not. They don't care about the COVID test. Turkey right now, if you enter their country, they don't ask for your COVID test. They don't care. So it's not a mystery. Okay, so the family that went through a Turkey layover, they didn't know that the Turkey country don't need COVID tests. They don't need that. All right, so I went extreme. Qatar, who requires, because they're laying over in Qatar, and then Turkey airline laying over Turkey, right? So there are two great examples there. So anyways, guys, so how can I help? So this is how I'm going to help you guys. So before, you could pick all your airlines and layover you want. It don't matter. You can choose Eva Airlines, layover in Japan or Turkey or whatever. I don't care. You choose your airline, you like their food, you like their service, take it. This is what I can do to help. You message me on YouTube. You say, Coach, I'm taking Eva Airlines or Korean Airlines. My layover is here, this country. And then I'll respond back and I'll tell you, this is the COVID test you are required to present. And then, if applicable, I will also let you know, oh, by the way, when you get there, you're going to take another COVID test. And whatever extra information I can get you, I'll give it to you. But message me on the YouTube, and then I'll message you back there. But be patient, because there's a lot of people asking me. And, of course, I got to give you guys the correct answer. So, and it really helps also if you guys watch the video, because it helps the channel when you guys watch the video, you guys subscribe, and you guys share this video to other people. It really helps our channel here. And what can I do in return? I'll give you guys the information you need, and I'll tell you what COVID tests you are required for that layover, so that you don't get punked. You don't get booted out from your flight. So when you get on that plane, you already know you're in the right. Remember, guys, you guys always have to come correct. You don't come correct at the ticketing booth, you're not gonna get on that flight. You're gonna miss it. So Kababayan, YouTubers, I hope I explained this right. And that's all I want is to be able to convey this message correctly so that you can utilize the message that I'm putting out here. And then I can help you guys out. And you guys know, when you guys leave a message, when you guys message me, I respond back. It may not be within, a second, but my record time, I respond back within a minute, 2 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. But it varies because sometimes I'm driving or I don't have a signal. But I do respond back. I always try to look to see who messaged me. And that's why it takes me time to respond back, because I am responding to all of you guys. But anyway, guys, I love you, kababayan. I love you, YouTubers. And take care, guys.